All right, so this was a commission for the producer, one of the producers of this film, 9 Days. So as you can see, it started with me doing some drafting and laser cutting some basic parts. And then from there, I went to just hand cut paper, all the details, including the siding you could see there. After that, I went in and started painting and building up textures. All those textures were done with paint. Textures all over, various textures for various parts you could see. Then I went to painting, did the base coat for the side. All the little accent pieces got their base coats. Started doing some detail painting there you could see on the beam and stuff. Small little, characteristics of aging and whatnot. I worked pretty closely from the production photos they sent me, which unfortunately I'm not allowed to share. But yeah, so here you can see I'm using some chipboard to make the Adirondack chairs. I just drew those out on the computer in various pieces and then laser cut them and assembled them. You can see here I'm moving on to the roof. Jumped over to some lighting there. There's Link admiring the work. So yeah, you can see I just got some rigged up pieces for the roof. That's just making sure I get my angles right and all that. And here's some of the shingles, which is sandpaper that I painted and cut out. And then I assembled it piece by piece, very similar to how they would in the real world. It took me a while. Anytime you do something like this, feel free to take your sweet time. Don't try to do it all at once, because if you slack and it messes up, you can see it. So I was really happy with how it all came out, and there it is with some weathering. So this is cool. I started using kitty litter for the base of what was like the desert. I was separating the larger pieces from the smaller pieces. After a while, I was left with all the smaller stuff. You could see that's where I was starting to put solutions on it to cure it, to make it a solid mass as opposed to a bunch of little pieces. Some of the fence work, various pieces of chipboard and wood. Unfortunately, I don't have anything showing how I made these planters, but they're paper. Various materials and stuff like that. So I made all the bushes and plants using store-bought materials, that they have for like model railroads to make foliage and stuff like that. So yeah, they fit in there nice. So this is the lamppost, which was made out of some cut-up pieces of a ballpoint pen and styrene, and here it is getting its many layers of paint to simulate aging. You can kind of see that better in this section right here. For the globe, I used pins and, pearl beads to build up my form, and then I molded that and cast it using hot glue, actually. So I was able to sink my LED down in there right at the last minute before it fully cured, and that's what gave me that effect. Kind of see it there. So I had to run electrical all the way out under the piece to get power to the light. So that goes below the sand. Basically, there's channels inside. You can kind of see it there on the left. Channels in the OSB, which makes up the base. So there's a cool shot, seeing the yard, if you would. Yeah. So the small details and all that came towards the end, of course. Adding the dirt and weeds and stuff like that. There's a good shot of the lighting. You can kind of see some of there's some of the weeds. So it was one of those projects that I had to follow a lot of rules and work to a T with the references I was given, but at the same time it was a fun challenge. So here's the back of the artwork. Battery, switch for the LEDs, and here's the final shots of the piece where it was kind of how it was presented with the molding around the base and stuff like that. So it was a real fun project, and it was fun to do just a facade of a house. I don't do those often, and it was cool.